You know, there's just something about the first round of the NCAA tournament. It's where these season-long dreams can either take flight or just come crashing down in a single game. And sometimes, the most incredible stories aren't about the superstars shining, but about what happens when they suddenly go ice cold.
I mean, think about it. It's the absolute nightmare scenario for any team, right? You've battled all season long to get to the big dance, and your go-to scorer, the guy you rely on night in and night out, suddenly can't buy a bucket. What on earth do you do then?
Well, that's exactly what was staring down the number 9 seed Iowa Hawkeyes as they faced off against the number 8 seed Clemson Tigers. On paper, this was a total toss-up. You know, the kind of game that just comes down to who handles the bright lights and the pressure the best. So the game starts, and right away, Iowa's whole game plan just hits a massive snag. Their biggest star went cold, and the rest of the guys had to figure out a way to win without him firing on all cylinders. This is the guy, Bennett Stirtz. He's the engine for this Iowa offense. He's been their leading scorer all year long, but against Clemson, in the single biggest game of the season, his shot, it just completely abandoned him. So just how bad was it? Stirtz went a frigid 3 for 10 from three-point range. And get this, only one of his 7 shots inside the arc went in. I mean, for a scorer this reliable, that is a complete and total deep freeze.
But hey, that's why you have a team, right? As Stirtz was struggling, his teammates just stepped right into that void. Kael Combs came up huge with 15 points, and Alvaro Foigueiras came off the bench to pour in another 14. They were doing everything they could to keep the Hawkeyes afloat. And you know what? It worked. Despite their star player being ice cold, Iowa somehow, someway goes into the locker room at halftime with a 7-point lead. That collective effort was really paying off. But you know how it goes in March. No lead is ever safe. And when the second half got underway, the entire feel of this game was about to flip on its head. I want you to really picture this. For almost 6 full minutes of game time, Iowa did not score a single point. Possessions came and went, shots went up, and nothing. The offense that had been pieced together just completely vanished.
So Iowa starts the half up by 7, feeling pretty good. But then comes that absolutely brutal 6-minute scoring drought, and Clemson just claws their way back. And just like that, the lead was basically gone. The score was 35-33.
Suddenly, it's a 2-point game. All that hard work from the first half, it felt like it was evaporating. You could feel the pressure crank up in that arena.
The whole place was buzzing. I mean, Clemson had all the momentum. You had to be wondering, does Iowa have anything left in the tank to stop this thing? But Iowa did exactly what you hope your team does in that spot. They weathered the storm, they stopped the bleeding, they managed to rebuild a small lead, and they set us all up for an absolutely nail-biting, dramatic finish.
And even then, even after Iowa built their lead back up, Clemson just refused to go away. They came roaring back with one last desperate charge, and with less than a minute to go, it's a 4-point game again.
So here we are. It all comes down to this. 10.9 seconds on the clock. Iowa is just clinging to this lead, and they have to make their free throws to put this thing on ice.
And who do you think steps up to the line?
Of course, it's Bennett Stirtz. After struggling the entire night, the whole game is now sitting on his shoulders. And what does he do? He's perfect. He just calmly sinks both free throws, sealing the victory. Talk about a moment of pure redemption. And there you have it, the final score. The Iowa Hawkeyes survive and they advance. A super hard-fought, gritty win that was anything but easy. So you gotta ask, how did they pull it off? When you really look past the stats on the page, the answer becomes pretty clear. This wasn't about one guy. It was about the team's entire identity. You know, Stirtz himself actually said it best after the game. He said, "We know we're not the most athletic team or talented team, but I think we're the most together team. That chemistry, that unity, that's what pulled them through when their star just couldn't find a shot."
And hey, even Clemson's coach saw it from the other bench. He pointed to all those hustle plays, the 50-50 balls, and he basically admitted that Iowa was just hungrier. It didn't come down to talent, it came down to pure effort and want to.
So, if we boil it all down, right? Why did Iowa win? It was a collective effort that put the team way above any one player's stats. They got these huge, crucial points from their bench. They showed incredible resilience during that awful scoring drought. And of course, they were absolutely clutch from the free throw line when it counted the most. And it really leaves you with a fascinating question, doesn't it? In this tournament that's so often about individual superstars, this game kind of makes you wonder,
Maybe the ultimate advantage, the thing that really wins you championships, isn't having the best player, but being the best team.